All right, we are live. What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to an evening of live Q&A. Um, I'm your host, JJT with Commissions. We are waiting for people to join in. Commish, how are you tonight?
Doing fine. Doing fine. How are you guys? There are
Uh,
people watching us already.
none yet, none yet. But
Not yet, not
maybe we
yet.
can talk about some stuff that happened today. What happened today? No injuries, right? No injuries.
Good.
DeJounte, 2 weeks out. I think that's the biggest news. I don't think we talked about it yesterday. 2 weeks out for DeJounte. We said that Aaron Holiday would be the guy to add
Yeah,
uh,
but
in his absence.
apparently DeAndre Hunter also I think is about to
Coming
return.
back.
He's questionable for tomorrow. I think they have a game on Monday, Manila time. So maybe if not tomorrow on Monday, supposedly he can come back already. If he comes back, he should start. Maybe AJ Griffin becomes the starting two guard, and then Bogdan comes off the bench. Or maybe Aaron Holiday will not get his expected run. Depends. Maybe he has one game of value if Hunter can't come back. Can't come back yet. But it looks like the Andre is about to return.
Yeah. Annoying thing that happened today. Terrence Mann didn't play. I did see that coming. Did he have an injury yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's out for concussion. I streamed him in a bunch of teams, three teams maybe, all on daily tomorrow settings, which is annoying. That's what I hate about the daily tomorrow
Yeah.
settings.
Yeah. Well,
It's like
we have a daily today, and I streamed him in FBW. I streamed one Terrence Mann, one Robert Covington. Both bombed. Both didn't play well. I did not stream Nick Batum. I think he played better than
yeah,
than than Covington. But yeah, Terrence Mann. I think I'm not. Was it a concussion? I don't know if it was a concussion
it's a
or maybe.
concussion. That's
Okay.
the report that they said. It's a head injury, I guess. I I'm not sure it's under concussion protocols, but yeah, that's annoying. But again, it's also the day to day setting is also for the early risers. Advantageous for those early risers, especially here in the Philippines, because you'll be able to. That's what I do. When I wake up, I check the injuries and all before I add certain players. So yeah, let's go to some questions. We have a few already. Um, okay, from Facebook, Tone Fogavai. Welcome to the stream. Projections for Victor Oladipo. We'll start with the questions because we won't be here. We'll probably be here for an hour or so, but we won't go through 1.5 hours of streaming. So we'll just run through everything we can in an hour or so. All right. Projections for Oladipo. Is he Oladipo playing already?
Yeah, I think he played today. As far as I remember, he played today. But I'm not really a fan of Victor Oladipo. Projections, what he did last year, I think would be basically what you can expect from him. He's way past his way past his fantasy relevant days. Today he was so. I mean, he was just right. I think if you can get 7 points, 8 points, some offense off the bench, couple of rebounds and assists here and there, I think that's all you can ask for from him. You don't you would not get much more than that. If you can get like 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, maybe close to a steal. That's the best case. But the problem with him is, he's never gotten healthy really ever since that major injury. You won't expect him to play every game. You would have to guess which game he will play. It's not even just back to back. I think they would just, play him this game, rest him the next game. So yeah.
Yeah, just it's a uh, the injuries really caught up to Oladipo. I think there's too much injuries there for him to be very relevant in any team. And he got major injuries. It's not like just a sprained ankle or so. He got really bad ones as well. So, depends. I'm not sure if it's deep, very deep league. Maybe he has
Even
some
if it's a
value.
deep, even if, well, unless you're in a 30 team league, I think then you would, then it can have, he could have value. But even in a 20 team, it's better if you stream that spot. I think. If you use him in your 20 team and he's not your worst player, then your team is in trouble, in my opinion. So
All right.
better to stream.
Shout out to Cornix from YouTube who has one of our subscribers. Nico Caranto. Good evening, Nico. On 16 team at 7th seed. Should I hold on to Ajax? 16 team.
Borderline. For now, he's also questionable for tomorrow. By the way, with his own injury. But Miles Turner is questionable with hamstring problem that he already missed the game for. And we have to watch and see if this would be a lingering problem for Miles. So while that is still out there, maybe you can hold on to Isaiah Jackson. Because what if, he misses 2-3 games? Then you can use Isaiah Jackson for those 2 to 3 games. No, so unless Miles is completely healthy already, then you can hold on to Isaiah Jackson. Although, as I said, he's also questionable himself. That is the problem.
Yeah.
But if he plays, then he might have better than usual value. And you're in a 16 team league, so it's okay. It's okay in a 16 team league. It's okay to hold
Yeah.
players like
Plus,
this in a 16 team league.
plus there aren't going to be a lot of other options in a 16 team league that's better or with the same upside that he has. So if you can just hold on to him a little bit longer and just retain that seed, I'm assuming the top 8 advances, I think you'll be okay if you can just maintain that. And you can also see how good or bad your team is. I mean, a player like Ajax probably won't make a major difference in a 16 team league. But yeah,
He
see
could
how
actually, a
he
player
could
like
when he
I
plays. But I mean,
yeah,
in terms of the he could make a big difference if he does well,
yeah.
right?
If he does well, I mean, the point is he can be a game changer if somehow he gets to start. That the upside is high. So for a 16 team
Yeah,
league, it's okay. But if he's playing like 6 minutes, 7 minutes like the other day, then that's useless, right? Depends on your team. You're a seventh seed, so I won't say that you're really safe already with your playoff spot or you're really strong. So
yeah,
that's kind of risky to do something like that. But again, Miles is injured. I mean, or nursing an injury. So if he's nursing an injury, this is it. This is what we're waiting for if you're an Ajax owner. So why not hold a little bit longer and see if the injury becomes something worse or something that he has to manage really. So I would hold because of that, those
yeah.
situations.
Me too. I'll hold unless a very hot free agent comes along. Uh, I'll probably hold as well. Benji Camon from YouTube. Ball for Herb Jones.
um I would say ball. I would still say ball. Right now, ball. He had a good game the last time out. Before that, he was in a worry list because his game was starting to go down. But even so, even if his game goes down a little, he's ranked 23rd per average this year so far. No, it's not gonna be sustainable, but he would still be a top 100 guy. I predict. Worst case. So I think
Yeah.
he's still the better player than Herb
The
Jones.
upside, the upside is the gap there is huge between the two.
For now,
So I
yes,
think
yes.
yeah. So I'd still go ball for this. Kent Tornilia, any thoughts on Cal Anderson, Joe Harris, and Payne? We talked about Payne. If as long as Chris Paul is playing, he is a drop.
Yes,
Uh,
he's a,
so
the
Joe
last game.
Harris,
Chris
yeah, go.
Cameron Payne, the last game there were, as I said, was a garbage time special. So he got it to 12 points and a couple of assists. Before that, he wasn't doing much. So Payne, if Chris Paul is playing, is a drop. Is a drop.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Kyle Anderson and Joe Harris for team.
Kyle,
I'm
I like
assuming
Kyle.
it's for team.
Yeah, I think Kyle is in that streamer and then last spot of your roster zone kind of a player. Somebody you can use week by week basis if the schedule is good because he can do a lot of things. He can do a lot of things. He won't be consistent, but he's okay already. Especially if you're punting points, you're not looking for points, then Kyle is okay. Joe Harris, I think, is also for now rosterable in 14 team. I think, but Ben Simmons is coming back tomorrow. So let's see how the who starts. Will Ben start again and Joe Harris go to the bench, or will they keep Joe Harris as a starter? If Ben starts and Joe Harris goes to the bench, more or less you probably would be dropping Joe Harris. He's probably more of a streamer, 3 point specialist. Back
Yeah,
to that kind of role. Yeah.
yeah. That's for Kent. Cyril, John Wall 14 team hold or streamer only. John Wall is in the what Kawhi zone in the sense that no back to backs. Very very limited when it comes to. Does he have minutes restrictions?
Not that I know of. When he plays, the counting stats, especially the assists, they're good, but the percentages are bad, really bad. Like 43%, 63% free throw, 43% field goal, bad. Turnovers are quite high for someone who plays off the bench and limited minutes, two and
Are
a
you
half.
talking about Westbrook?
No, we're talking about John Wall, but people will be blinded by the assists. It's hard to find assists in the waiver. So in a 14 team, for me, he's a streamer. He's not a. If you really look at it closely, he's hurting your team in a lot of categories. Right off the bat, I could think of four categories that he's hurting your team. Field goal takes a lot. Free throw 67%. Turnovers 2.5. Doesn't block. So that's four categories already. He just makes one 3 pointer. So that's just neutral for me. So really, the only category he helps you is assist. He's just averaging zero point 0.9 steals, so not much steals either. So just the assist, and that's not enough. That's not enough for me.
So he could be a drop
Could be a
or a
drop,
trade.
yes.
He has name value. You might want to add him in a trade package or whatever.
Mm,
Does
tough to
he?
find.
Does he have trade value? Tough to find a
Uh,
one-on-one deal, but
if you're in a league that managers really know their stuff, I doubt he will be somebody people will be picking up because he's kind of the same situation with Ben Mathurin, maybe just a little bit of talking about Ben Mathurin. He's also a player who people might have name value because of how hot he was at the start. He's a rookie, but really he's hurting you more than helping you. Those kinds of players because the points are high with Ben, but he's doing nothing else, and then shooting terribly. So
yeah,
John Wall is a worse Jaden Ivy, something like that. The difference between Wall and Ivy is a rookie. He's getting a lot of minutes. So the stats are higher a little bit, the points, the rebounds and everything, but he shoots as bad as Wall. 41%, 74% free throw, lots of turnovers. Similar thing. So these players, I don't know, it's tough to trade them. It's tough to trade them if the other manager knows their stuff.
yeah. From Benji once again, is Caleb Martin Royce O'Neal a drop in 12 team?
Uh Yes, I would say. I think Royce, Royce has been just above the drop zone. So I would be okay with holding Royce O'Neal. Caleb,
Caleb
Caleb,
has been dropped in even 40 in deeper leagues. So I think that could answer your question. 14 teams,
yeah,
there
but
are some leagues where he's been dropped, but he's up and down as well. Like today, he played well.
today and the last game he was down. Previous to that, he was hot, and then
Yeah,
because but Jimmy Butler's back, so the usage will go down. So I think in a 12 team, he's more of a stream. Royce O'Neal is struggling lately, but I'll give him one or two more games. So a couple more games because for the year he's been good. So I give him that. Let's see if maybe he can bounce back. So for Royce, I would hold on a little bit longer for Royce, but for Caleb, I'll be okay to drop Caleb.
all right. Here from our idol, Coach Sandy.
Ah, good luck, Coach Sandy. Let's win. Let's win.
Uh,
One big fight.
yes, preparing as well for the what? Is it the finals? No, Final Four.
Finals. Game one tomorrow versus UP.
All right. So,
Yes.
but in true fantasy nerd fashion, Coach Sandy, of course, drops by, and we appreciate that, Coach Sandy. Here's the question: who would you pick 2 out of 3? Eason Keegan or Nick Richards? It has Orebs.
The league has Orebs. That makes it that changes things when you have Orebs.
Because Keegan probably is the worst. I mean, in terms of the Orebs category, he's not the best offensive rebounding player.
Yes. Yes, he's not the best in that department. Actually, but Nick Richards does give you rebounds, but he doesn't give you blocks, doesn't give you steals, doesn't give you threes.
Yeah,
So I
that's
do
why I
understand
think that's
uh, I understand the added or offensive rebound category helps him, but the other categories are still bad, right? Uh, they're not good, even if he has the Orebs. I would probably go with I still like Keegan more, and I would still like Eason more than Nick Richards. That's how I see it.
yeah.
I still
All right.
rank them that way.
Yeah, because the difference might not be huge anyway with uh, Nick Richards. So yeah, hope that helped, Coach Sandy, and good luck to
Let's
your
check.
game.
Let's check Nick Richards' offensive rebound average because he's averaging around 6 rebounds a game, but I don't know how many of that is offensive rebounds. So let's see.
Um,
But
I'll
we
take
will
this
see
one.
that.
Menard Paran question as you are looking for the answer there. Thoughts on the return of Time Lord Robert Williams? We talked about that yesterday. Commish even recommended trading Time Lord as he gets closer to a return because Commish feels like he won't get back to the top 20, top 30 Time Lord that we saw last year.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, you can try that out. Try trading him. Trading up for someone who might be struggling or someone who might be there at the top. I think you can still, as you get closer to him returning, you could still get him for maybe a top 60, top 50. Can you still would you can you still get him for a top 40? Or is
I
that
think
pushing
so.
too much?
Maybe pushing too much. Maybe top 50. Maybe top 50.
Yeah, anyone's
Maybe top,
top
top 50.
50 could be a good target. If
We got
you
we
or
got
you
our
can
answer. Yeah, yeah. Top 50, I think. Top 50 with Time Lord.
yeah.
You can get that.
Or you can, if you want to hold on and let's wait for him to play a game or two and see what happens, that could be fine as well. But he will have restrictions, so I'm pretty sure you kind of expected that as well. But yeah,
With
you
Time
can't
Lord,
trade him.
my thoughts on Time Lord, as I told Jeremy, is the hype on Time Lord before he plays would, and the value of Time Lord before he plays would be greater than the value of Time Lord after he plays. That's just what I feel. I don't think he's gonna be Time Lord of before. It will take some time, and so that's why I suggested you maybe try to float some trade offers there to see trade involving him if you own him. So
Yeah,
I think because the injury is not a minor one, it's a knee injury, so they would also manage him. That's just what I think. I do still believe he can be a top 60 player, top 50 maybe even, or top 70 at the worst. But he was top 20, top 25 before, right? So if you're expecting that kind of Time Lord, might not be there this season.
but if you're not expecting that kind of time, or you are
It's okay.
expecting a top 70, right? Because he's been picked really low this season, so
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true.
you can hold on to that. But if you're expecting the top 20, maybe you can just trade up and make sure that get a sure bet top 50 player out there. All right, going back to
About
Coach Andy's.
Yeah, Coach Sandy. I saw Nick Richards' stats and offensive rebounds. That's why maybe Coach Sandy asked this. He's one of the leaders in the league. He's 3 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds a game. So that changes things. That changes things because that kind of standing, the way he can rebound, his position in the league, that he's like top 10 in offensive rebounds. That gives you a chance to already win that category if you have him. So that's sneaky. That's very sneaky. So that puts him, I think, close to the top among these guys. But I would still put Keegan there because I believe Keegan can help you in multiple categories. But Nick Richards would get the nod over Tari Eason, here.
All right.
So he's
Uh,
top 10. He's number 9. Actually, 8 and 9, tied 8 and 9. Nick Richards.
who's the top offensive rebounder?
Steven Adams. Steven Adams is at
Mm.
4.9. And then with Capella, Potel, Gobert, Sengun, Zubac, Anthony Davis, Plumlee, and Nick Richards are both at 3 rebounds per game. So, given that this is a very, very rare stat, even probably harder to find than blocks, and when you can find Nick Richards, who I'm sure is not really rostered in a lot of leagues, if you can find him in your waiver, then you should. Well, I doubt he's in their
He's gonna
waivers
be more
because
valuable. He's gonna be more valuable in leagues like
easier to
this.
get, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Cade, 20-man league, 20-team league
Mm-hmm.
by Jomai Santos. Are you
What's
are
the
you do you have other injuries? Maybe he's asking if he's gonna hold. He's
um
asking if he's gonna hold Cade.
20 team is quite deep, but if you have, yeah,
No,
we don't know if you have any more injuries, because if you do have any other injuries, you just drop him. I
if
think
you have a lot, yeah, you can.
drop him.
The problem with the Cade thing is they're just mixed reports, right? Like he's been shooting, and then with that report as well is the uncertainty. So it's like,
Here's the thing.
um,
Yeah, uncertainty,
go.
but he did not get hurt in the game. This is something that has already been there since the preseason, so he can play through it, I think. Well, not, I don't think. I know he can play through it because he played before he was, asked to rest because of the soreness in the shin and everything. He can play through it, so he can shoot. But the shooting thing is really irrelevant in my opinion. My belief is the Pistons would not bring him out there unless the pain is totally gone, and that would take, as we talked about this in our quickie, that even if he doesn't do the surgery, it would still be probably way into January or February when he comes back. He has to rest it for quite a long time, even if
Yeah,
he doesn't get the surgery. That's what I believe. That's what I think, and I believe would happen. That's why I'm okay with dropping him if you have a lot of injured players.
yeah. So like the best case scenario is still far ahead, like January, maybe next year, right? Obviously, it's gonna be next year.
Obviously
The
next year,
worst case
yeah.
scenario is if he waits until later on the season before deciding to get surgery. Right, it happens to a lot. It happens to a lot of players. So we'll see. Um, Here, FJ, D Lim, DFS or Pat Will.
Wow, this is
This probably a
this is
deep
a
league,
very
16 or 18
yeah, this
team league,
is
or
a
maybe
very sad
streaming option.
decision to make if you have these two players. But I still go with Jeremy's man. I will still go with Jeremy's man. That's
Go with
Dorian Finney-Smith.
DFS. The minutes
DFS.
I think is big for DFS.
DFS just has more track record of producing. The maps are
You
not
know, I
that
don't
deep.
know what happened. What happened to DFS last year? He was so good,
What happened to DFS? I think Luca. I mean,
but they had Luca last year
yes, I know
or
they had
Christian
Luca
Wood.
last year,
Maybe
but
Christian Wood.
maybe Wood. Yeah, maybe Wood. Wood could be one of the reasons.
Because he's
But
getting
well,
the minutes. DFS is getting 30 minutes, lots of minutes.
his shots are not falling. That's as simple as that. His shots are not falling. He's shooting 41%. Last year he shot 47. So if he gets to around 45, his stats would become like 10 points. Because right now it's 9 points. Last year was 11 or 12. Just 2 points or 3 points. Better percentages will get him there. And if he gets there, then he's similar to last year. Exactly similar to last year. His stats, the other stats are similar to last year. Exactly. Turnovers, blocks, steals are all the same. Rebounds is the same. Assists is almost the same. 3 pointers a little down, but again, if he shoots better, he's gonna get a lot of open outside shots. If he shoots better, that will go up. And if that goes up, then he's DFS of old. Unremarkable, but
Yeah.
somehow Jeremy loves him. So
No, I dropped my whole DFS already.
but over Pat will DFS. Yeah.
All right. So let's not dwell too much on that. John Paula Garcia, we talked about Robert Williams. We can just rewind back a few
Try to sell.
minutes back. Or you
But
can check out yesterday's quickie because we posted it there. Um, we talked about it there. Ron Gerald Anagap, Jaden Ivy for Plumlee.
this is a little needs based in my opinion. Both of them suck in free throws. I Plumlee more than Ivy, but Ivy's field goal I've talked about it 41% might be hurting your team. If it is hurting your team, then you can go for the deal. But if you're really weak in field goals anyways, Plumlee, I mean, removing Ivy will still not make you strong in field goals. Then maybe just stick with Ivy because the counting stats would be better for Ivy. The points, the assists, some steals there. So that's what I think.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to this one from Kent Tornilla. 18 team league, 15 categories. What the heck is that? Zaire
What are the other
Williams. Yeah,
what
what
are
are
the
the
other
other
categories?
technicals? They're
Double
I
double.
used to play in leagues wherein technicals matter, technical fouls, triple doubles. Um,
I
so
never I never
Zaire
joined
will
leagues. I never joined leagues like that.
Zaire Williams could pick up since Bain is still out. Is Zaire Williams performing with Bain out right now? I
He just
hardly
he
see him.
No, he was injured for a while. He was injured for the whole season. He just debuted 2 games ago. Today actually. He had his first game. Or today or yesterday. Yesterday. He had his first game. He was okay. He did not shoot the ball well, but did okay. 2 steals, if not mistaken, 4 points, something like that. 18 team league though, so I think it's worth a shot. Especially not only Desmond Bain. I think Laravia is also out with I forgot what injury Laravia has. if you're playing in deep leagues, you really know these guys. You're looking for wherever you can find a little glimmer of value in the waiver. So if Zaire is, Zaire, I think he could get minutes with Memphis. I don't know what the other categories are, but regardless, I'm
But
sure, I'm sure,
he can help in anyone, in
I'm sure he can.
any
Compared to the other players, maybe he could help. Compared to the other players in the waiver, I think he could help.
all right. Thoughts on Craig, Utah, and Dylan Wright? Dylan Wright
Dylan is
is a few weeks, probably a couple of weeks away, maybe, from possibly returning.
he was 2 or 3 weeks away last week or the other week, so he probably very near. I like Dylan. If you're in an 18 team league, I like Dylan very much over Craig and Utah. Craig though was a 14 team league guy before he what did he got in, yeah, he got hurt and then missed I think 1 or 2 games that stopped his momentum. So Craig is also somebody you can pick up in 18 team leagues. He should be in the 18 team league rosters. Utah is injured. Hamstring, he's doing just 3-on-3. Might take some time. TJ Warren's back. Now, if Ben is also back when he comes back, I don't know. Joe Harris been shooting the ball well. So I don't know how much playing
Curry's
time he
back.
can get. Yeah,
Steph
I don't know
Curry's
how
back.
much playing time. So if you're ranking these guys, I still like Dillon the most, than Craig, than Utah. Especially when Dillon comes back. Dillon should be the best of this
All
group.
right. Trying to trade Beal. Who do you think is the best target?
Hmm.
This is not a good time to trade Beal. Beal is
Well, he's
out.
injured.
He is injured, so it's gonna be harder to get nice value, right?
Yeah, yeah. Assuming he's not
You're
injured
gonna
though.
sell a little low.
No, let's assume he's not. Assuming he waits until he comes back and then has some good game before he trades. Players like I think you can get Garland
What's
if
Beal? Beal is top 40, right? Right,
top
right now.
top 35, top 40. He's been playing well. He's been shooting the ball well. He's around 50% from the field this year. So he's actually playing well. It's just that the injury timing is really bad. But let's assume, as I said, that he's already playing. He's back to his normal self. Then maybe a guy like Garland, actually, you can consider. That's a very fair deal. If you're looking for bigs, Bam Adebayo is near his ranking, and he's been playing very well. So that's the
Van
big that
Vliet,
probably I would.
maybe.
Van Vliet,
Yeah,
yeah, Van Vliet is okay, but as I said, as we talked about Van Vliet, we're not sure if he's gonna be the Van Vliet of all, the top 25 Van Vliet. Maybe not. So I would prefer Beal.
Gobert.
Gobert is okay. Gobert is okay, but I would probably look for Bam first if you're looking for bigs. Now, even Sabonis, somebody you can consider for Beal if you're looking for big. I'm assuming if you're trying to trade him, either you're afraid of the injury risk or you want another stat. No, maybe some other stats, maybe assists, maybe blocks, or steals. That's why Bam was the guy that I was thinking of.
So that's a question from Paul Dundao from Facebook. Coach Sandy, good luck on Sunday, game one. Eric will be rooting for you.
Sunday pa pala. Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
More time to prepare.
But I'll be rooting for you, but given that I'm from the rival school who did not make the final four,
Yes, so
I
you should be rooting for us since you don't have
should be rooting for you.
the race.
But since
Yeah.
Coach Sandy is here, I'll now be rooting for Coach Sandy, and he gave me a compliment here. Uh, let's go! One big fight.
One big
Uh,
fight.
good luck, Coach. Um, Yanis or Embiid rest of the
Yanis.
season.
Yanis.
Yanis.
We talked
Or
about it also.
Yanis is AD Jokic. How do you rank that? Jokic. Let's not talk about Jokic anymore. Yanis and AD.
I
It
still
was
like
close, huh?
Yanis.
It was close. The poll we had, I think 51% was for Yanis and then 49. Really close.
I still go Yanis and then I AD and Embiid. Not to not to hate on Embiid. I like Embiid. There's still a chance he's a top 5 player in fantasy, but just Giannis would be again. I don't hold the future. I don't can see the future. I'm just trying to project, based on whatever we can find, which is that he's less injury prone than Embiid or AD. So I pick him. Plus the fact that his team is just more stable, I think. So
Yeah.
I would probably go with Giannis.
Because the rule is there's just more certainty in the Yanis side than any of the other guys. Like Embiid still has to deal with Harden. Uh, Maxi's not yet back, right? AD, of course, still has to prove that he can stay healthy, I guess. So I think that's where AD uh, problem comes. Walker Kessler, is he the new Time Lord? He's the new Portal. I
He's more
don't think
potent
it's
than
yeah,
Time
he's
Lord.
more
Yeah,
Portal than Time Lord.
Time Lord.
Because Time Lord can steal the ball. That's the big difference there,
Time Lord
right?
can
Can
steal. Time Lord can score
score
more.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Time Lord can
can
score
score
more.
more.
But
Uh,
12 team 9 cat,
12
yeah.
team.
12 team 9 cat, I assume is around 140 to 130 to 40 players. Assuming you have 13 roster spots, that's 156. If you have 12 roster spots, that's 144. At this point, yes, Kessler is inside that range of players. Top 150 is there. Uh, he started. I think he should start tomorrow again. So
Yeah,
yes. Yes.
he's hot. He's on fire. So I think keep him till he shows you he's not rosterable anymore. I think that's my take to Kessler. As long as he's hot, he's ready, he's good, he's giving you those stats. Just hold on. Um, Shout out to Prince Bernard Diana. Just to inform that all of your videos are very helpful on a daily basis, and he even watches the DFS YouTube videos. Thank you, sir. Apparently, it helps his Roto League. I didn't know that.
Thank you. Thank
I
you.
but of course, we appreciate it as always. Thank you for supporting this guy. We haven't really talked much about from Benji. Come on, Jonathan Isaac. Um, what he there was some updates about him a couple of days ago.
He was in the G League, I think. He was already
Yeah.
sent to the G League. So timeline for that, maybe 1 week or so, or 2 weeks before he gets called up, and then maybe he can play. My thoughts on him is that don't waste your thoughts on Jonathan Isaac. Uh, really, the guy can't get healthy, and see what
You know the
Oladipo is.
crazy stat I saw.
What?
Uh, the last time he played, he was 22, and now it's already 25.
20. Oh, okay, that's 3 years. He actually
Three years.
he looks older with the beard and everything. He It's just hard to see someone didn't play for 3 years come back and be fantasy relevant. I think what he would be is annoying to the other players in Orlando. If you own Banquero, if you own, let's say,
Yeah,
Wendell
true.
Carter, Bol, if there's an Isaac there, they play him 15 minutes, 17 minutes, it's gonna affect a little
That's
bit of
two
the
minutes
stats of,
less, two, three
yeah,
minutes less for everyone.
yes, it's gonna affect the stats of everybody else. So I think that's what he would be, more than himself being fantasy relevant. If he can be a streamer, maybe he would be a streamer in some games when Orlando is in a quality day. There are only 2 games, 3 games. Sure. But if you're thinking he's gonna be a game changer for you, you'll be disappointed this season. Hope I'm wrong. Guys, how much I love Isaac. Jeremy knows that. Ever since he was in the NBA, I have him every year. I even drafted him this year in an 18-team league. But just being realistic.
You
Just
know,
being
the best hope you have because like we've always said, this Orlando team has no magic in them, but it all has curse in them. So the best situation for Jonathan Isaac is if someone gets hurt once
Gets
again,
injured. Yes.
get
Yes.
injured. We saw that point guard rotation slowly coming back, but remember they weren't able to get people in, healthy for a long time. Wendell Carter's out, and we've
Suggs
said
is
that
out.
the injury of Wendell Carter could be more of a pain tolerance thing, could be lingering for a lot of for a lot of times, right? And for a lot of games, for a lot extended time. Bamba just about to come back, but was injured for a while. So I mean, he might get some chances there when the other guys are injured. So yeah, streaming and see what the others do. We
Like
haven't
I
even
mean,
talked about Chuma. Who
yeah, the
else are
point
there?
is
Mo Wagner's been playing well.
Mo Wagner, Bamba. Bamba was a good pickup just weeks ago. He was hot, but we know it was not gonna last. And then Mo Wagner is hot right now, but for sure, he would fall off the radar again sometime soon. So that's how it is in Orlando. So Isaac might get his chance, but he's not a rest of the season guy. He's not the rest of the season guy.
Yeah, all right. Why? In top 50? Top 50? Right,
No,
Brandon Zone.
not top. In totals, this is easy. It's not top 50 per game. Might be too high. He's probably top 70 maybe or 80. That's per game. On averages, that might be where you see him. You see what they're doing with Kawhi. They're not just managing him game per game, but even during the games, sometimes they they want him at the end, fourth quarter time when it's winning time when he can carry them and make the clutch plays, make the go ahead baskets and everything. That's what they do, and they make sure that he's fresh for that. So fantasy wise though, it's not the ideal situation for us because we want him to play as much minutes as he can. Yes, he played 30 the last time out, but well, let's see if he can consistently play 30. We haven't seen that yet, but let's wait for that.
Yeah. Top 50 might be too high. Top 80, maybe. Top 80. Top 100.
Top 80 is possible if he plays 30 minutes 3 times a week. Sure, he can be top 60, top 70 even in that role. But top 50, I'm thinking of 50 players I have ahead of him. I think there would be 50 players I rank ahead of him.
From Joel, trade Ball in Huerter for Jarrett Allen, Trey Murphy. I don't
Yes.
think, I'm not, yeah, yes. If you can, yes. But yeah, then I'm not sure the Jarrett Allen side would easily agree to that. Maybe another great game from Ball. Another
Yeah,
good
but
game.
but this is not
This is
as
not lopsided.
it's not lopsided. It's not really a clear cut winner. Also, as I said, Ball is 23rd, 23rd this season, 23rd. But if you really believe Ball will continue being top 20 25, then go ahead. You should be going for somebody more than Jarrett Allen. But obviously,
Yeah,
it's
but
gonna drop off.
this is a good trade for
But Jarrett Allen already is a good trade. Yeah, Jarrett Allen
yeah.
is somebody safer, more track record. Floor is low, is high.
Yeah.
I mean, floor is high. So it's a good deal. It's a good deal. A very
Plus
prudent one.
plus the upside of Trey Murphy is higher than
Yes.
Werther's upside. It's just that the floor of Werther is a little higher
Y-
just because of the
And
minutes that he's
Brandon
getting.
Ingram's toe is scaring me.
Brandon
It's
Ingram's toe could end up being
Desmond
Desmond
Bain's
Bain's toe.
situation. Yeah, could be the same
They
thing.
might be the same toe. They might have
Might
the
be the
same
same
toe.
part. Might be the same part. I don't know which part that is. That's making them miss so many games. It looks like that. It
Eh,
looks like that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a good trade. All right. Next one. Traded Zion and Jaden Smith for Paul George 12 weeks ago and planned on using Paul George as a trade piece to get another high rank big. Who do you suggest? It's an 18 team league.
18 team league, higher ranked player.
Higher rank big.
Yeah,
Cardinals, Bam.
higher rank
Probably
big,
Bam.
but where do you rank Paul George? That's the question. No, what do you mean by higher rank? Because Paul George was a second rounder. During the drafts, he
What's
was
he ranked
around.
now? What's he ranked now?
Paul George is ranked 66. This is on average, of course, because in totals he's lower than that because he missed a long time, a lot of games. But he struggled even before he missed those games. He's 66. So if you want just
So I
something
think
higher than
higher in terms of name value, right? Because if you want higher than 66, there's gonna be a lot of players there. Um, but I'm sure you're not gonna be content with maybe Krabs, right? Maybe right a Giant Allen one deal, one for one trade. I'm not sure you're gonna be happy with that.
I would not want Miles Turner because I'm worried about him also with his injury. But I would think Chris Tapps is someone you can consider. Chris Tapps might have been drafted way later than Paul George, but he's playing way better than Paul George. So I think Chris Tapps is safely top 30, top
And
35.
and if you're worried about the injury concerns, well, both of them are on the same level in terms of injury. I mean,
That's
Paul George is
doable.
already
Yeah, Chris Tapps is doable, but the main target should be Pascal Siakam. That's the main target. If you really want higher, and you can tell that the manager is that I got Paul George second round, you got Pascal Siakam second round. Let's do this deal. Maybe you don't need a big. You need someone who can maybe score threes or get the
the
stats of
only chance you're gonna be able to sell that is based from the needs.
yeah, yeah.
But if that guy, like that manager who owns Siakam, has not that many bigs, right? The chances of you getting Siakam would be harder. You might need to throw out another big. It's a 2 for 2 trade wherein you throw out a big and you get another player from him. So yeah, the chances of you getting
Actually,
Siakam there.
actually, Paul George is 36th. I'm sorry, 36th in an average. So somebody higher should be around the Siakam
But
range, Chris
that's
range.
doable.
Yeah,
That's doable.
yeah.
The Siakam range. All right. Let's see what other questions we have from Jude Meno before we thoughts on Kesher. Oh, we talked about this already. Do you think he'll stay in the starting lineup? Personally, I
Um,
don't think he'll stay in the starting lineup, but he could from certain games. He could start in certain games.
I did say that when Will Hardy was interviewed, he said he was just trying to match up with Looney. Tomorrow they match up with Gobert, so he should be starting there. I also read somewhere that it was also because Laurie was out. That's why they started Kessler. But I don't, as I told you a while ago or yesterday, I don't know why that would matter because Laurie is a small forward there. But maybe there's something they thought of that also. So will he stick? I think not continuously, but by the end of the season, I'm pretty sure he's a starter.
Yeah.
That's I will say that by the end of the season, by February or March, he should be the starter already for
After the
sure.
All-Star break. After the All-Star break, he
Yeah.
could be the starter immediately after. So yeah, Kessler. All right, this is a good question. From Prince. 12 team 9 cat. Yes, strong free throw. So far 47 out
Wow.
of 47.
Wow.
But he has Ben Simmons on it and he's coming back tomorrow. Should I keep to support this? That's a great question actually. Um, or shall I sell him or trade him?
Mm, what's the question? What does it keep to support other
What to do
stats?
with Ben Simmons? Does he play
Should
Ben
you
Simmons?
should he
Because
keep
the free
Simmons
throws,
to support other stats? Okay.
yeah. Should he keep or maybe just trade him for someone who might have similar stat set but better free throw shoot or better free throw shoot.
I would trade Simmons, especially with the build of your team. For one, he's not gonna be an everyday player. He's gonna be good. He's gonna be again gonna be good for certain games. He's gonna have to rest again because that's how the knee is. They already said it. They have to manage the knee. Number one. Number two, free throws of Ben Simmons. If you're well, you're very strong. 100% is indeed strong. But even if you're that strong, I don't think that you can do that every week. Uh,
Yeah.
I think that's not something that's gonna happen every week. So maybe better to find somebody that will be better fit to your team. I
Now,
would try to sell.
if you're concerned this week, uh, depends on what's your what is the matchup already at this point, right? If you won, I mean, what are the other categories? If you're worried about just free throw, yeah, I'm not sure you're gonna be worried about just free throws, right? You're gonna be worried about maybe just play him a game or so. I don't think that's gonna be a big hurt if you play him this week.
No, this week he's got a free throws one, even with Ben Simmons. Ben doesn't take a lot of free throws anyway. Actually, I'm saying sell Ben more of maybe find somebody better, no, for overall, not just the free throws. Because if he's really that good in free throws, Ben's what 8 or 9 attempts a week, then maybe
Yeah,
misses half of them. That won't matter as much already. But I just don't feel like he. There's a big chance that when you need him the most, what if his knee acts up at that particular time? So, which is something that we don't have to speculate about because that's something that their coaching staff already said that it will act up every so often. And if it just happens that it's also week 21, 22 when you are in your playoffs, then you would not be able to use him. Then that would be a unfortunate thing to happen for your team. When
yeah.
you can cash out, get somebody else, right? So there.
Unfortunately, the best time to trade Ben Simmons was a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, when he was at his
Yeah,
um, now you probably get lower value players
he
for Ben.
has missed 2 weeks. 2 weeks. But again, I'm pretty sure in 2 weeks' time we're gonna be talking about Ben Simmons. Oh, he's so hot, he's so good. Because he's a good player. He's really a good player.
Yeah,
And he doesn't take a lot of shots anymore. He takes dunks and layups, so he gets 5 out of 5, 7 out of 7, 7 out of 8. We'll be talking about him that again in 2 weeks, and by that time, maybe you can trade him. No, at that time, not
yeah.
now, not now.
Don't just pull the trigger on any deal. I guess that's what we're saying. Still have to be a little more patient in terms of finding a good deal for Ben Simmons. THJ, sell high,
Sell high, sell high.
sell
That's a
high,
sell.
sell high. We
Yes.
know this already. I mean, THJ, there's a certain probably 2 3 weeks of really good THJ, and then yeah, there will be probably be dropped at some point again.
He won't be shooting this
TJ,
well. He won't be shooting this well.
yeah. So sell high, easy. Hi sir, is it a good move that I traded Trey and Maturin for McCollum and Brook, or I'll regret it sooner or later? Are you winning? Because if you're losing, you might be regretting it. But if you're winning, I don't think. What can you say? Trey
Um.
has fallen off. I mean, he's not even top 20, I think.
Yeah,
Top
he's
30,
he's not
not
in the
even.
top 20. He's not in the top 20, but that's still a little low for Trey. Uh, McCollum is not playing well. McCollum is buy low. No, McCollum is a buy low, but you bought McCollum for Trey. That's kind of a sell high. So I don't like it as much in that sense. No, Brook is Brook. Brook is okay. Brook is a good. You won the
No, bro, this
Brook
was
part.
the yeah, this was a sell high too on Brook. How high? It was Trey Young high.
Yes, yes. Trey Young high. So that's I get the Maturin part. I mean, that's good that you got better
They
players for
got
Maturin. But if the cost is Trey Young, not might not be a good situation. You know, as Trey is for me still a foundational player. He's not a first rounder, but somebody you can build your team around. I call these players foundational players more than first round players. You know, there are players that you when you have them, you have an anchor. And that's why I talked about Jokic being the best anchor out there because he's just really strong and he can build easily get you back in games if he has 2 or 3 games a week. Now Trey is something like that because with Trey, the
three.
threes, the assists, there is something you can already get or build upon. Although he's shooting terribly from 3 points, I know. Can't make his
And
3 pointers
turnovers have been bad. Turnovers have
yeah,
been bad.
turnovers and bad.
Really
But
bad.
but the scoring, the
Um,
assists, they're solid. They're solid.
um, Also, the thing with the first rounders is that they are the type of players who are in when you're down in a matchup and you see your first rounder will be playing the next day. You'll have a little more confidence that you will be able to catch up, right? These are the types of players, right? If you have Yanis there, MB is there, you know they're gonna be putting up good numbers. The challenge with McCollum and Brook, you don't know what numbers you're gonna get every night. Right? You can have great numbers one night and then not so good numbers the next night. So uh, if you regret it, well, you know if you're winning or not. Because sometimes whatever we say, we're gonna say Trey's the winner. The Trey, it was a big loss. You lost Trey, but sometimes the fit, you know, your team, the fit of McCollum and Brook on your team is perfect enough. You'll probably be able to win more
It
games,
can
right?
work
So
out. Yeah, it can work out.
yeah,
It's
it
just that
can. It can depends on the makeup
if
of
we
your team.
follow, if just it's just that if we follow the book of fantasy, because
Yeah,
sometimes we just follow it, but it doesn't mean it's correct.
this
Trey
is
is a
more.
Trey is a buy low. Okay, Trey is a buy low. So that player who got him bought low. McCollum is a buy low. So it's a buy low for buy low trade that should not happen. You know, McCollum should not be able. You should not be able to flip McCollum for a Trey Young, even if you add somebody like Brook Lopez. You should not. At this point of how McCollum is playing, you should not. But of course, McCollum will improve. He'll play better eventually. So it might work out. Might work out. It's just that maybe this is not the best deal that you can get if you're trying to trade.
Yeah.
That's
Follow-up question from Okin Adnarin. Dory Martin will play all season or be rested after. Well, hard to say. Hard to say.
hard to say. Hard to say. Speculative,
Um,
really. Utah is still top 10, top 9, top 8, whatever in the West.
they might
Hard to
make the
say.
play in.
They might even make the play in. So it's hard to say. If you want the odds, my odds is that he's gonna play. He's not gonna be rested. That's my odds. But your guess is as good as mine, really. With
I
these,
think of all the players, the older guys would probably be rested more. The Oliniks, the Mike Conleys,
yeah.
the Beasleys. I think those guys would be rested more. Markkinen and players like Clarkson would probably continue playing, like because they're younger. So I think that's my guess as well.
I I would think there would be rests there though, but I would not think they would do a total out for the season kind of rest, like out for. I mean, we're just resting
Maybe
him like
he's
as
worried about the OKC, like OKC type of
yeah, no,
list.
yeah.
No, not that. Okay, so Okin said he has Jokic too. That's why he traded. He bought Trey with SGA. So
Oh,
he
he traded
sold
SGA.
SGA for Trey.
Okay. Well, then that the cost was high to get Trey. Then I mean, you gave up.
Actually, I like that's a good trade already. Trey, imagine Jokic with Trey.
If Trey's 3 point shots start to fall, then that's gonna look good. But what happened was he bought Trey with SGA, then he traded Trey for McCollum and Brook. So
That
it's
didn't look
basically
good. That was the trade for SGA was good, but the trade for it's like SGA for McCollum and Brook.
yeah.
I mean, if you
Well,
look at it that way, that's okay. That's a better deal, right?
I wouldn't say it's a better deal, but again, it can work out. It can work out. We will at least you have Jokic. If
Yeah,
this was like Trace, your only first rounder, you traded it for McCollum and Brook, it would be harder. It would be harder to make
yeah,
it work. But with Jokic, as I said, it's a good anchor. Can make it work. McCollum, Brook, you can make it work with Jokic. You can still win your league with that.
yeah. All right. Last few before we call it a night. Steph Curry, top three, too high. Top three is too high. You think top three?
Top three. There's a chance. There's a chance he's top three. He's
The way
near.
AD is playing,
He played bad the last game. That's the only game he played bad. And then he got but he did tweak his ankle. I did say that last week. But top three is possible. Top three is possible. There are
so who
still
do you
seven.
think end up top three? Who's your prediction?
Uh hmm. Top three, I
Now,
would
now it's
say,
harder. Now it's harder because it's AD joined the fray there.
yeah. AD joined the fray. There's of course
Jokic,
there's Jokic.
obviously, still
Yeah.
still a contender there. Some players have fallen off a bit. Embiid probably would fall off a bit. Guys will
I
never
think
be top three.
well KD's there. KD's still there. I
Yeah,
think he's
KD,
still healthy mostly. So it's AD, Steph, and KD for now.
KD and Jokic.
And Jokic.
Those
Jokic is
four.
around five.
So yeah,
I would
possible. I stand corrected. Possible.
I would go with actually I would think Steph would finish number one.
Really.
Steph, yeah, Steph, Jokic, KD, probably top three.
Right. There you go. Commission's hot take, Steph. Although, interestingly, I didn't really, um, you know, I don't really see Jokic also ending top one this year. I've said that
But top
even
three.
before the season started. But
Yeah.
I think top three is easy. He's been playing
Yeah.
better now. I mean, Jokic has been catching up from some of the early season quote unquote
Yes.
struggles. It wasn't a struggle, but not the Jokic of old.
Yeah.
Um, Shout out to Ruben Dorado of Spin.ph. Shout out to you. Oh, we forgot this guy.
Tatum is not Tatum is top five, top six maybe, but top three might be a little too high for him. But it's still possible though. It's an outside chance also. Tatum
Yeah.
has an
All
outside
right.
chance.
All
Even
right. Last
SGA,
few.
even SGA has a chance.
True.
He's up
The
there.
averages, yes. Still good. Still good. SGA. Thoughts on MPJ? He's injured right now. Um,
Remember when when Jokic was out, Jamal was out, and everybody was out. Jokic had COVID, I think. I told you that MPJ not playing well is kind of reminiscent of when he was injured. And then it really, I mean, it seems like he had some heel issues already during that time. So it's worrying because this guy, we know his injury history. So my thoughts on him, I'm not high on MPJ going forward, to be honest. Just a lot of players who give the stats that he gives that are safer. That are it's easier to find players that does what MPJ does. Easier to
so
find. So
apparently, the MPJ still that guy who is going to be an injury worry every season. Uh,
he
last
is very well. If
last for
we
today.
yeah, if we still have some more, we can answer some more. It's okay.
All right. Nurkic and Jalen or Embiid.
Embiid, Embiid. This is an easy
Embiid.
one.
That's super easy. Embiid. You don't give up Embiid for no first rounders. Those are even, Jalen Williams even a throwaway there. Um, it's like Nurkic for Embiid. Imagine that.
No, no, no. That's speculating too much on Jalen's upside. Don't play with
Yeah,
Jalen's upside and then using Embiid as the chip. Not a good move. Not a good move.
yeah. Rejected the trade of Randall for Mobley. For my Mobley, 20 team roto. Need threes. Good in rebound stocks. Good move. Randall for Mobley. He
Roto.
rejected this even, but
Yeah.
it's roto, and he needed threes. Good rebound stocks, which Mobley can give other than the threes, I guess.
Which what? I didn't get you.
Which Mobley can give good rebounds and good stocks, except for the threes.
But I think what he's saying is he's already good in rebounds and stocks. That's why maybe he's thinking twice about
Oh
when
yeah,
he.
yeah, sorry, yeah. Need
So
threes.
he
Need
needs
those
threes.
threes.
He needs threes. So maybe Randall, of course, Randall has more 3 pointers than Mobley. So maybe that's why he's a little thinking twice if he made the right move. In head to head, it's Mobley. In Roto is very needs based. Sometimes you have to in Tagalog palugi. No, you have to
You have to
give
sacrifice the quote
sacrifice.
unquote
Sacrifice.
better
Yeah.
name valued player, better quote unquote ranked player for the needs that you need. For
Yes.
that's the need. Right?
Yes.
This is also my challenge with Roto. I was talking to you about my one of my Roto teams, which I feel is a strong Roto team. I need rebounds because I'm last place in rebounds. And I wanted to trade some player, but everyone was a good player. That it's so hard to find someone to trade. Right? Imagine you're gonna trade some. It's psychological sometimes, Mobley, I'm gonna trade my Mobley for Randall. Why would I do that, right? It's psychological, but it's so hard as well to get that name value out of the way. So, do you think this is a
Yes.
good move?
Um, I don't know the whole story. No, I don't know how good he is in rebounds and stocks. Especially stocks. Rebounds, I think Randall and Mobley could be a wash. Could be the same. Randall maybe Mobley better a little bit, but Randall won't be that far off. So the drop off in rebounds won't be as bad. But the stocks part, it will be big, and also even the field goals will be big. So so I don't know exactly how good he is in those. If he's really number one already in steals and blocks, and really he has a lot of players who are strong there, then maybe he should have taken Randall, for the 3 pointers. But if he's just strong in the sense that I'm top three, top four, if he gives up Mobley, he might fall, in a lot more categories that what Randall can offer him. Let's say he gets +4, +5 points in threes, but then he loses 3 points in steals, 4 points in blocks, and then field goal. Might be a net negative for him eventually, in the long run.
All right. Benji, come on. Is Ant a sell high since uh, his game is down when Cat is there?
Yeah, but Cat will still be out for a while. Why don't you squeeze more value out of him? I think you're just starting to, finally get the Anthony Edwards you drafted, you hoped for when you drafted him. So I'd keep him. I'd keep him for now. And we don't know what condition Cat will be when he comes back. Remember that. The calf strain he got, that's not something to sneeze at. We're not even sure, if he's gonna be managed when he returns. So I'd keep Anthony Edwards rest of the season. I feel like he's gonna be more aggressive. The usage will be high going forward.
Yeah. Lamelo. Lamelo for Adebayo. Should we trade Lamelo? Lamelo.
I don't have any Lamelo. Maybe you can answer this. Would you do that? Ah,
Uh, I
Lamelo
so
Adebayo.
I have a bunch of lamellos, but not. I think of all the lamellos I have, I'm doing really bad in just one of the lamelo teams. So it's not that bad yet for me to say I have to trade lamelo. I'm now being forced to trade lamelo, and that team wherein it was bad is because I've had a bunch of injuries as well before now I'm picking up some wins. So by keeping the mellow, so it really depends on how desperate you are for for
But no,
players, I
he's
guess.
the guy being offered Lamelo. I think he has Adebayo. He's the guy being offered Lamelo. I think, yeah, one offered me
All right, all
Lamelo.
right.
So he's the guy who's getting
So should
Lamelo.
you trade for Lamelo?
Yeah, should you trade for Lamelo? That I think is
No,
the deal.
no,
For me, no.
no.
For me, no.
For me,
If
no.
unless you get, I mean, unless it's just for, let's say, CJ McCollum, because he's been struggling, right? That level, then okay. But if not, I won't mess with my team given Lamelo's injuries. Or the problem is when he comes back, what if Charlotte is really gonna be down in the standings? They might rest him. The tanking issues would be there with Lamelo. So Adebayo is no joke. He's a top 30 guy, right? So
Yeah. So no, I'm not getting Lamelo unless it's really for a low value player, or like Kumish said. Even with that, I think I'm gonna stay away. I'm gonna stay away. Um, JC, um, how many total? No, I think I have 18 total teams. I 8 plus around 2 plus another 8. So that's what, 16, 17, 18. Yeah. 18 teams in Yahoo. What percentage successful season in making playoffs for all the teams?
100.
Um, yeah, all the teams.
Honestly,
That's the initial goal for me.
no,
Make
honestly, at this point, if you've been playing for so long, if you don't make the playoffs, it's a little not just disappointing, a little frustrating, makes you doubt what you're doing. Because not belittling making the playoffs, but usually it's top 8. Usually it's top 8 of 14. So you should be able to make it there. So it should be 100% in playoffs, making the playoffs. How many will not make? I have a lot of leagues that might not make the playoffs this year. I'd be first to admit I drafted a lot of not too, I guess, safe players, and then they're injured. I have a lot of teams like that. So yeah, I have quite some teams that will not make the playoffs. Top three. How many would you like to finish top three to feel happy? This is the first year I have this many teams, so maybe like you
It's
just
also the
get
first year. It's also the first year he might not end up in the top three for a
yeah,
lot of leagues because
lot of
he's
teams.
pretty much top three in like in our leagues, in the ones that we've been playing for a long time. He's even won back to back
Yeah,
titles.
this year I'm back to back in both leagues. I'm probably 12th or 13th or whatever. I'm very low
Yeah,
in both leagues. Yeah,
yeah.
but both leagues,
But he
both
won
leagues.
twice already in those leagues, and these are not rookie leagues. These are very competitive leagues as well. So
But in the Philippines, we just say it's weather only. Sometimes
yeah,
it's good
sometimes you
weather.
win, sometimes you lose. I mean, in 18, if 18 leagues, if I win like five, I'd really be happy.
So that's very good. 5 is very good.
Right?
That's really good. I mean,
Winning 18 leagues, 30%, more or less.
but also, it's easy to say, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to win this, I want to win as many. It's it's easy to do that if you play against rookies, right? I mean, it depends also on the quality of your leagues. And in our FBW leagues, we're playing against good players. We're playing against managers who are even, better than us in making trades, in making moves, they're fast in ad drops. They're always
Yeah,
fast. So
very
it's
fast.
no joke. It's no joke. It makes it interesting. It makes it challenging also. So if you have six of those leagues and you win one or two, I think that's a good year already.
Uh, Thoughts on KD?
KD's solid. KD's I like he's quiet, solid, just does his stuff. As always, my only concern is injuries. That's my only concern. And
This is a
as I
concern to everyone.
yeah, but especially KD because the past few seasons he's had major injuries. On like the hamstring, the different issues in his body is 34, 35, I think. I'm not too sure, 34. So that is a very big concern. But nobody can predict that. He can
Yeah.
easily play 75 games, 72 games this season. So I would act as if, he's going to be healthy for the rest of the season because so far, so good. So far, so good for KD.
Uh, yeah. If you're, if you want to look on the bright side, look on the Lamelo owners, and it's
Yeah.
always the brighter side where you're at. If you're not, if you don't have Lamelo. Top three rebound block contributors for the season. Most surprising player currently, both in
In
good and
re-
bad. Rebound block contributors.
well, Brook is not good in rebounds, right? So he
It's
probably
still Gobert, right? It's still Gobert. And maybe Allen, Jared
Allen,
Allen,
Gobert, AD, AD,
AD,
AD's.
yeah.
You know,
AD,
you know.
definitely.
I think AD and KD. KD is 1.7 blocks for the season. So I mean, how many rebounds does he have? Let me see. He's averaging
Six.
six to seven rebounds. So that's still not bad. But the number one blocks rebounds combo is AD. It's AD.
Yeah, but because of the recent, you know, monster games that he's had, I think.
If you're asking for
Not surprised.
yeah, asking for the surprise for me, it's Zubac. Zubac is averaging 11.4 rebounds, around 1.7 blocks. So he's probably behind AD only here in combined rebounds and blocks. And he's the surprise for me because I never expected him to block this high
Yeah.
this season.
Um, Maybe any other surprising player for you that's not really a rebound block contributor.
Zubac, Claxton is not because we know that that's just what Claxton will do. I'm a little surprised with Miles rebounding going up to 8.8 to 8.5. That's pretty high, so I'm surprised with that. But overall, the other players here are
How
basically
about other all the among all the players, not just those in the rebound department?
what do you mean blocks or what
No,
department?
all the players, all the players in fantasy, all the NBA guys. Who's the most surprising for you? SGA,
SGA. I did not see. I really did not see SGA come do playing this well. This is a first round turn for him, right?
ball boys. I
Ball
don't,
ball, yeah,
I
ball
don't
ball.
think anyone was, saw it coming as well.
Ball people didn't see coming. Brook Lopez, I have a lot of Brook Lopez because I kind of saw it with Brook Lopez. I didn't believe that he was really over the hill. I was really thinking he was very underdrafted. So Brook Lopez no, but SGA for one definitely very surprised. And the Aaron Fox is another. I know he would be better, but he has been really good. Although lately he has struggled though. So maybe, it's normalizing. So there.
Uh, all right. Who else? Wait, last few here. Wait. That's done. Uh, consider adding more IL spots to help you more next season. Four is a lot. Four is a lot. You know why we don't put so many IL spots, right? It's more fun that way, right? Makes you think. We don't like hoarding players, right? In our leagues, so it also balances out the slower guys when it comes to the pickups, right? Won't be able to. Everyone would just be thinking, right? If you're down four players, you'd be thinking, should I drop this? Should I keep this? I mean, it just becomes more competitive. Now, if you add more IL slots, then the fastest guy wins, right? The fastest in the ads, the fastest in the picking up the replacement players, right? He's just gonna hoard these injured guys and then just add more players. So that's why we don't put more IL slots. Just makes it more competitive, I think.
I
Your
would
thoughts,
I would
Tony?
say I would say I would something I would consider is putting an IL, not IL plus, an IL position maybe to add to two IL plus. That might be something to consider. I'm not saying we will do it, but something maybe that makes sense because of the number of injuries really. Because IL plus, if you put four in there, people might take advantage of that because anybody who's just rested is IL plus eligible. Somebody who's probable is already IL plus eligible. It's very lax. So an IL would at least help those who really get unfortunate or unlucky to get a lot of real injuries. Like let's say if you had Chris Paul and then you had Harden, at least you can get one of them in the IL, additional IL position. Then that helps you alone, not the other teams who don't really have that problem, but gets benefited if we added more IL plus. So maybe IL, not IL plus. Because in our
Yeah,
FBW it's IL plus, right? Both IL
yeah,
plus. So maybe that.
uh, yeah. So and also like I said, it makes it more exciting. Makes you think
Yeah.
who to hold, who to keep, right? If you're down there, you don't just hold every time, right? All right, that's it for tonight, guys. Thanks for joining us. Lots of questions as well. We didn't miss much. Um, Always, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter as well. Um, and we'll post updates there as well. And of course, if you're on Facebook, hope you like our Facebook page. If you're on YouTube, hope you like our Facebook page as well. So yeah, we'll see you guys again tomorrow for a regular quickie, and that's it for tonight. Bye guys, have a good weekend, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow.